In this lesson, we'll look at the Android Design Guide, which is part of the Android developer's website. The Design Guide focuses on the Android user interface and how to get the most out of it. It's a critical part of building an app. Google provides a lot of piece parts for you to choose from in building your user interface. At the same time, Google encourages developers to leverage Android conventions and design best practices. So there's a blend of adding your own creativity while fitting into the overall Android look and feel. The design guide is well laid out and well written. It uses a lot of graphics, and it's a great learning and reference tool. The design guide wasn't available when I started developing Android apps, and I can tell you that it's a big help having it. And it has an additional use for developers. You can use the guide with clients for whom you're developing apps to show them samples that can be used as base design elements for their applications. In other words, you can do things like showing them options from the guide and asking them which they think fits their needs the best and discussing the alternatives with them. This can save a lot of time and effort in the development phase. It's much better to get as close to your design objectives as possible up front rather than having to constantly tweak your code during development. This isn't a course on design, which is in itself a big topic. So here's the approach I'm going to take with you with the design guide. I'll give you an overview of the design guide and then leave it to you to read it in detail. After this lesson, I suggest you take a break from the course and read through the guide. You don't have to digest every word, but a good feel for the overall content will be very helpful to you as we go through the course content. So let's get started. The guide is constructed in a top-down fashion, starting with higher-level topics like creative vision and design principles. It then moves through style guides like themes and typography, then covers design patterns like gestures and navigation, then moves down to fundamental building blocks like tabs, lists, scrolling, etc., then down to downloads for things like color samples, and finally gives you links to some great design videos. Instead of trying to go through each page of the guide, I'm going to point out some highlights I think you should emphasize in your read through the guide. The first is style themes. Themes are an important way to give your app an overall look and feel. The Holo theme is an important design element for Android. We'll explore later how to use it on Ice Cream Sandwich and above with fallbacks for earlier Android versions. In the Patterns section, take a special note of navigation. Every app needs navigation. Some are, of course, more complex than others. Read through this section to get a feel for options for navigating within an app as well as between apps. The action bar is an important element for making choices about what a user can do within an app, similar to a tools bar on a browser window. Multi-pane layouts are an important element in supporting Android devices of different screen sizes so that your app will work well on everything from smaller smartphones to larger tablets. In the building blocks group, I suggest you take a look at all the topics. You'll use most or all of these in your apps. Each section provides great graphics of all the options. For example, in the tabs section, you'll see scrollable tabs, fixed tabs, stack tabs, and they're all clearly identified. The download section shows examples of and links to download for stencils, an action bar icon pack, fonts, and colors. And finally, the videos section gives you links to some great videos of Android experts discussing key design topics, and I strongly suggest watching as many of these as you have time for. So that's a quick overview of the design guide. Please pause from the course now and read through the guide at developer.android.com/design. Remember, we'll be referencing and coming back to the design guide during the course. For now, it's enough to get a general idea of what's there and to start getting used to using the guide as a reference during development projects.